The WNBA collective bargaining. I am not an economist. I am not a sports business expert, but I can read and I know math, and I know when things don't seem right. Um, People who have no idea of what collective bargaining is, how things work, have lots of opinions on things. They're doing math wrong. They're trying to equate things that don't make sense. They're doing comparisons of apples and oranges, and they aren't listening. One of the biggest things that I've seen is that people misunderstand that they think the WNBA players want the same pay as the NBA players. That's not the discussion. No, we're not expecting NBA money. We're just expecting a larger pie of the revenue sharing. And where that lands, that's to be negotiated. But the fact that middle class to lower class people are cheering on billionaires and saying, keep your thumb on the working man, is wild to me. Most of these people are employees themselves. And if the shoe's on the other foot, they would be like, I want more money. And that's one of the weirdest dynamics that I've seen when it comes to sports, is that the everyday person, the working person, cheering on the boss. And when they walk into their actual jobs that they have to go to, they hate their bosses and they hate the owners because they don't feel they're being compensated enough. It's such a weird dynamic. But what's happening is that revenue sharing is the central of collective bargaining right now. So what they're looking for is just a balanced model comparable to what the NBA has. So base right now is based on what an economist, a Nobel award-winning economist, Claudia Golden. She's saying currently what the WNBA's revenue sharing is at is like 1/80th of what the all revenue is. In comparison to what NBA players, and if they did a kind of a comparison what NBA players make, that would make they should be up to 1/3 to a quarter, well, a quarter to a third of the revenue sharing is how it should be instead of 1/80th. So somewhere in between there is where the sweet spot is going to lie. They deserve more than 1/80th, but they may not do the other economic factors people to get the max of a third of the revenue sharing. With revenue sharing also, the NBA players are guaranteed a certain percentage. There is no guarantee on the WNBA side in the current collective bargaining. There are new TV deals, again, as I said before, so it makes sense that the WNBA players get more money. I've seen David Sampson do this terrible bit about pay us what you owe.
The t-shirt, pay us what you owe us, would somehow imply that there is something that the WNBA owners and the WNBA personnel, the NBA owners, that somehow they were doing something wrong. They underpaid them.
David Sampson is a nerd, so he doesn't get colloquialisms. Pay us what you owe is not something that means verbatim. It's not a literal term. Pay us what you owe means that, hey, we are making more money. So as we negotiate this, we want more money. That's the principle. And so for him to either be intellectually dishonest or ignorant that that's the intent of that t-shirt is ridiculous. The purpose of the t-shirts isn't saying that they owe us money because they haven't been paying us. They're saying as we enter this new phase, we want more money. And not only do we want more money, we deserve more money. So pay us what you owe. It's a really simple concept. Also something that's being misunderstood. Team valuations for WNBA franchises have gone up. So we're ignoring, for this point, the $250 million expansion fee that's being paid that the three new franchises in Philly, Cleveland, and Detroit, that they're being paid, that they paid the league. Estimated, because they don't really, unless it's being sold, they don't really do a true valuation. The New York Liberty is estimated at 400 million. Now listen, that's paltry to the billions that the NBA teams are worth. But for a team to be valued at 400 million, that means that the financial experts see the value. In comparison with a few years ago, the valuation of these teams were like $100 million. So now the economics of the WNBA has changed. And this is what we have to understand. So when people are acting weird, like why should they want to be paid more? Because either they're not paying attention or they just don't have the information, is again, they're just being intellectually dishonest. And worse off, being flat out sexist. I mean, that's possible. But the business dictates that they get more money. And that's the black and white of it all. Now again, where that lands, who knows? I think you have Caitlin Clark is the star. She is the Magic Johnson of the WNBA right now. She is that star to get this ball rolling. And you have Paige Beckers, who's also a big star, big Nike athlete. You have Sabrina Ionescu, who's also a big star. Whether you like her or hate her, Angel Reese is a star. And lastly, but certainly not least, Asia Wilson's a star. And I would even argue in certain aspects, her and Caitlin Clark might not be as far away stardom as you may think. Because there's something about Asia Wilson that you just like. That she just has a star thing about her. Like I think Caitlin Clark's game is what made her a star, and these right-wing idiots made her a star. But Asia Wilson's game and how she presents herself off the court, she just has star material about her. And I think that's something that you can't buy. Something you can't manufacture. And I think Nike is finally waking up to this. Nike is finally having basketball ads with her in them. The W was looking great. I mean, Asia is at her prime right now. Lots more years left in the league. But when you look at the youth movement and what's happening with Paige, and you have Caitlin, and you have Juju in a couple years, the W is set up for long-term success. Now, who's going to be that Michael Jordan that's going to take them into the stratosphere? We'll see. We'll see who that person is. But right now, they have their Bird Magic Dr. J. And then in a few years, we'll see who that Michael Jordan is. It could be Juju, but that's a lot to put on her young shoulders.